All right, Mailbag Preview Show, episode 272. We've got Rob Scurry and Benny Said in today. No Jack Dickens. He's off causing trouble in some other mainstream podcast over with Tom Papley. He's with the big guns now, so he's left us dry. How are we doing, boys?
Going well, kind of half happy he's not here. He kind of graded me up last week anyway, with his, the Godolphin thing, just bet of all time and this and that in Sydney. So, yeah, kind of glad he's not here.
Yeah.
Do love the man, but he's no help to me.
Exactly. Benny, how you going? We can see you today.
Yeah, I'm well, lads. Good to be back. It didn't take long for Dicko to drop us, did it? Straight into the mainstream with Papley and, getting fitted out by Pink. Next minute, who knows what he's doing? He'll be on the Masters soon, the way he's going.
Exactly. Yeah, we weren't offering him any golf clubs, so he's gone from us.
Correct.
Yeah, very good. I had a look back through since we restarted the preview show, and Jack thought he was on the bottom of the table, but he's actually equal top with me for the tipping. We're both 3 from 6. And then you two fall in behind, but you've both done less than us, so you've got your time to pick up.
What are the stats, Jono?
3 from 6 for me and Jack. I think you were. I'll have to bring it up. Rob was 33%. I think you were 40%. So me and Jack 3 from 6. You're 2 from 5, and Scurry is 1 from 3.
That's it. And look, if I grab myself up like I did last week, and again, I could be off too, because the thing I'm tipping today beat the thing I tipped last week, and I kind of once I got there, I felt a bit tired. It felt like a rock around my leg as water goes. Looked bloody terrific. And I'm going to tip that in race 7 again. Anyway, where do you want to start, Jono?
We'll get into it. We might as well go straight to Rosehill. We've got you wanted to have a look at race 1 and race 7, and then we'll take a quick look at race 5, a pretty exciting horse in there, and then also have a quick look at the Rosebud. The listed Rosebud is race 8. So we'll kick off in race 1. Couple of horses you've backed in the past, Rob.
Race 1. Little Pumper. Yeah, little Pumpers is not a bad little horse. I saw him win at Canterbury, but I think Cabalas is a proper, Golden Rose horse, and I like the step up in distance here to the 1300 from the 1200. I think he beat a really quality horse that was actually nominated for the Rosebud in Astria. I think it's called for Maren Eustace. This got barrier 3. He'll probably try and kick up. Only bad luck gets it beat. I think Cabalas in race 1 looks a good thing to me, even though James McDonald at this price point is scary for me. They probably got a losing ROI, but on this horse, he got it home last week, and I think it beat a good one, and I think it just wins.
Perfect. Stepping stone to much bigger, you would assume.
Yeah, $1 million horse, looks like it, and I think it's a quality animal, and who knows how far it could go. Rose, Caulfield Guineas, proper horse.
Perfect, wonderful. Race 5 is the benchmark 88 1200 meter. We just wanted to have a quick look at this with Extremely Lucky returning. Rob, a horse you haven't seen before. In the flesh, but obviously it's trialled up extremely well coming into this preparation. There's talks of Everest for this horse. Benny, have you seen it before?
Yeah, I have seen the horse. Quite a fine animal, not overly big, but very athletic. Obviously got a really wicked turn of foot, so probably didn't come up last preparation to an extent. Obviously now with C. Waller, so we're going to find out how good this horse is, I think. No better man to take the reins and C. Waller. So, look, it'll be exciting to see how he does step out on Saturday, and obviously bigger fish to fry later in the preparation. But, I think he's a really nice horse.
Yeah. Rob?
He's not meeting much here. Ashman's been out of form for a long, long time. Vernelli probably wants a bit further. Devil's Throats is a winter horse. Handle the Truth hasn't won in ages. Curtis Island, love him, but he's a Wednesday horse. Diamond Dealer completely out of form. Get Back Horse is the only thing. Looks the winner. I know our mate Shane Curlio thinks this is an Everest horse, so he should be winning this 88 against pretty much nothing. So, yeah, I don't know. 220 seems big, but it might be hard to make ground at Rosehill. Who knows?
Yeah, indeed. And as you pointed out off air, James McDonald booked for both the Extremely Lucky and the 5 Alicia. So
yeah, look, that's got Brisbane form, which I don't rate, I can't see how if this thing's come up, it should just win. But who knows? If it didn't come up last prep, then you're taking it on trust a little bit, and especially at this price, do you want to take on trust?
Well, it's two trials have been extremely good.
Just quickly, do you think maybe they're sort of gone to an easier target because they haven't got a real good handle on the horse just yet, or they just want to see him do it again? That'd be my only slight query. Like benchmark 88, the horse is obviously he's not super high up in the ratings, but highly talented. Maybe just an easy kill first up. Yeah,
Uncle Chris is keen on that. He does like getting horses' confidence up. So yeah, that could very much be it. What price does it start? Is it an odds-on chance? I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah, I think they'll come. Especially if J Max sticks or opts to ride. I think that'll turn the market a touch.
Yeah. What if he opts to ride the other one? That'll throw a spanner in the works.
We might get threes.
Exactly.
All right, perfect. That's a good look at race 5 there. Race 7 was the other race you wanted to have a look at. You briefly mentioned What It Goes already, Rob.
Yeah, this horse is absolutely flying. It won, a racing with a leg in the air last week. It's taking on a Brisbane horse with Ryan Maloney, who's come down and just pipped me yesterday against J-Mac, and obviously riding well, full of confidence. Green Shadows, not a barely a Saturday horse, but this What It Goes is going through the grades. I like to step up to 1,400 metres. It's got Adam Hippo Hieronymus, who's in great form at the moment, riding with confidence. Should go to the lead and just kick and win. I think the Toppy sort of found its mark at 61.5 kilos. I think it's under pressure. So if someone mind knocks me off, I might have to walk off the courts. I think this What It Goes is one of the most improved horses in the country, and should just win.
Yeah, love it. And I think it's been backed $6 into 5 early, so good signs. But yeah, that Freedom Rally, the Brisbane horse, couldn't have been more impressive in its last couple. It killed that Vodka Martini that then came out and won at very short odds. So looked pretty promising as well. Anything to touch on there, Benny, or you're all good for that race?
No, I'm good for that one. All good
for that one. Perfect. And then we've got the feature that race 8, the listed Rosebud 1,100 metres. Rob, you said you'd seen a few of these. Any worth noting?
Not really. Fire Lane is sort of an honest type. I remember it won that 2-year-old race at Newcastle at a good price for me, first up and sort of running well. But I don't trust any of the 2-year-old form. I see Cigar Flick won while I was away, just fell in. This looks like a very lackluster edition of the Rosebud. If Estrella was in it, I'd want to be all over that. Introducing had a bit of a boom on it, but again, any 2-year-old form, I've just put it all in the bin and we'll start again. Roussillon, I don't. When I saw it at Warwick Farm on a Wednesday, I didn't think much of it. So I'll go out and see it, and hopefully something's improved, and we'll go from there. But no real opinion.
Perfect. That's all good. So tread fairly warily Was the word I was looking for going into that race. Benny, you've got anything to note there? I see the instructor that was not far off in the Blue Diamond.
Yeah, interesting assignment for him first up. Really speedy customer. Tis Invincible. It's probably one there's been a bit of a spruik around. But yeah, I'm a bit like Rob. I want to sit back and watch and see how they have come from, 2-year-old to 3-year-old. And then obviously, is there any mail up north or up your way, Rob, for Estria, why they aren't at the Rosebud?
No idea. We should be asking our man with the stable, but I saw it was nominated in the week. Maybe they didn't like the 1100. They wanted to step up in distance, not a step back. So maybe that's to do with it. But yeah, I would have thought it would have been close to winning.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, that's why I asked, because I thought it just looked a winnable race, didn't it, for it? But yeah, maybe you're right. Might want a bit more ground now.
Well, the way it kicked back last week would suggest that. But as I said a while back, I think that and Calibus are proper up and coming 3-year-olds. Without notice, Jono, race 9 is pretty exciting. You've got Pericles coming back, Madame Pomeroy, which always takes the eye. So looking forward to seeing that. And one of my my tips the other week, again, if this comes out and knocks me off, Banana Queen, I'll be very upset. But yeah, looking forward to seeing Pericles. I didn't think 2400 really is go, so I expect him to run really well. And Madame Pomeroy can't be far away. I think she'll be, even though she won the 1,000 guineas on a wet track, I think she'll appreciate the firmer surface.
Perfect. And you've got Colino in there as well that got up for you.
Yeah. That one, and Perfect Thought, I've got a bit of an opinion on that. Just missed in Brisbane for me, but that is not a bad. So you think very good looker. So at 53.5, I'm very keen to have a look at him.
Perfect. All right, that'll do us for Rosehill. We'll move across to the Valley for you, Benny. Have a quick look at race 5, which our horse Exeter lines up in. What did you make of his chances, Benny?
Yeah, look, I thought it was quite an even race. All in all, obviously Tatum Bull takes a ride, gets a nice little claim, bottom of the weights. Look, as we know, he's one of them horses, no point sugarcoating it. He's having to think about it, I think, late in his races. Like Morphettville last start, he was just going to bolt in and just he did, like the jockey couldn't have done any more. He got there, perfect run, popped out, he was there, he was going to win, and he just didn't have that killer punch late. So I think with him on Saturday, we want to be real quiet on him, quiet. Hopefully we need to get that suck up behind him and just dash for that 100 metres. And I think that'll be his best chance. Whether that transpires, I'm not sure. Obviously, the stablemate, Charlemagne, won really well last start, I thought. I think was aided by the bias leader's track. But look, take nothing away from the horse. First up, got the job done for the Bedford camp. Horse up the top, recommendation for the Mar Eustace camp. I think this is a nice horse. First up, wide draw. I think they'll just get back and come with one run. If the track's playing that way, it's the horse to beat. But yeah, looks a nice enough race for Exeter. Hopefully he can stick his nose out and be nice and genuine for us on Saturday and earn another check. Look, he's done quite a good job his last few starts, I thought. Raced in stronger company earlier on and then had a winnable race in Adelaide and just went under. So, look, he's ticking a few boxes and hopefully he can run well for us. Yeah,
he's certainly raced well at the Valley in the past. And yeah, exactly what you said is if he can get a nice suck run just in behind and get those splits late, then he'll be hitting the line well, we hope so. Recommendation, Rob, do you remember this horse at all? It's third behind Think About It, first up last prep at Warwick Farm, which is
look out.
Going a wee way back. But...
Okay. Recommendation. Who trains it? Sorry, I'm just
Mar Eustace. Pink silk.
Yeah, pink with the diamonds, I think, from memory. Can't remember much of it, mate. There was a horse that came out and that it won its next start. Recommendation, or might not have been recommended, but with Think About It form, it always proves to be
Recommendation did win. It won by 3.5 lengths at Canterbury after it ran third behind Think About It. So may well be.
It's next two.
Oh, it did win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do remember it. Not a bad type. Yeah, and that's proper Sydney form, I think. So if what price is he?
Good question, Benny. Do you know?
Yeah, he's around $2.80.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if that's taken another step, then it sounds like it. Only bad luck will beat it. I'm just going to quickly check that. But recommendation is progressive. He sounds like a progressive horse to me.
Drawn wide, probably roll forward with Carleen, but that form out of the Zedative Stakes that it won at the end of last prep, not bad, with Spacewalk was in there behind it. Obviously,
if this horse gets any luck from the barrier, it'll be winning.
There we go.
Yeah, it looks like that, doesn't it? Barrier 10. What are they going to do? Are they going to go forward or are they going to go back? It's not overly fast. Like it's not a leader.
They'll try and sort of slide forward and try and get a spot. Look, if it sits 3 wide, not on a hot tempo, I think it'll still nearly win this horse. I know it's a big call, but I mean, look at the form it brings in compared to, no offense against Exeter, but even Charlemagne was gifted. There's no other real. I think it's a nice horse, and I think bad slaughter or bad luck, I think it should be winning.
Right, perfect. Yeah. Let's move along to race 9, the Valley you wanted to have a look at, Benny.
Yeah, horse from Sydney. Rob can touch on this one as well. The 4 Omni-Man from the Waterhouse Bot Camp. I think it's just a really nice race for this horse. Obviously, inundations in this race, but this horse looked like a world beater early on. Pulled up with heart arrhythmia twice, or EIPH, whatever they do with it. But that's a worry for mine for a really fast horse. They can overdo it and obviously can cause something like that. So, look, they're going to go quick in this race. Omni-Man's, I think he's quite tough. He'll go on pace, double inundation, but I just think we'll have the bit of a fitness edge, and I think it'll be very hard to beat. I think inundations unders should be, I think Omni-Man should be $2.20, $2.30, inundation $4 plus. So I think the market's got it wrong at the moment. I think Omni-Man's a bet.
I've underestimated this horse for a long time, Omni-Man. He's no oil paint. He looks like a Wednesday horse to me. I saw him win at Warwick Farm. He was quite impressive that day. And then obviously he's gone on and won his next 3, beating a horse like Dragonstone, who's, proper listed kind of galloper who needs everything to go his way. But, he fought him off last week. 2 concerns, could be end of prep and first go at the Valley. That's why I'd be a bit hesitant taking 220. Plus, I don't really like him as a type that much. He looks, I just don't find him, but he keeps proving me wrong.
Gut feel, Rob, do you think he will be a Valley horse, being on pace, sort of can lead him up and screw around that bend and be tough late? What's your gut feel?
Yeah. Well, look, Rosehill. Well, I don't know. It's his first go in Melbourne. I did like the look of that inundation. He does have a very kind of smooth action.
He does, but the mail is he's got a bit of a, obviously it's been well documented, Mick Price, he's got a bit of a throat issue. So, them sort of horses, you just don't want to touch them under that $3 mark, high speed, bit of a throat, like EIPH, it just smells to me.
Maybe early, is it a bit like the bleeders? You prefer to back them first up than second or third or fourth up?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could win, but with them negatives, have to be with the race fit Omni-Man, who's quite tough.
I'm just looking at it. Broke track record first up here, and then heat stress at Sandown. So I remember that track record when he looked like a world beater, as you said.
Yeah, he did. I think he beat that horse of Friedman's Unflinching. I think goes quite good as well. They're just high speed animals, these sprinters. So look, I'm happy to risk him Saturday, but my words.
Yeah, a bit of a C grade sort of nature strip. Looks like they're cruising, and then and then once they hit the stick on them, you're like, ugh. Please don't.
And sweet ride for Annabelle Neesham's the other Sydney side of there. Rob, you got any opinion on that horse?
Yeah, she's always been sort of thereabouts in that sort of listed to group company. I remember being on her one day at a big price at Rosehill. She just about got there. Just, I think it traded very low in the straight. I'd expect her to run well. Michael D's sort of in career best form. Barrier 9, she can, she's got a bit of speed, but there'll be a lot of speed here. So she could, slot in nicely and, should go well.
Just touching on Mickey D. What about the form for the Hayes camp? He's had six rides since he's come back, 5 winners and a second. So, I mean, if he's on any of their horses, just have a bet responsibly.
Of course.
Perfect. Yeah, I just thought back to the 1,000 metres was Sweet Ride. Possibly was, I thought maybe the 1,100, 1,200 would be a bit better suited. But
I remember it. I think it just got touched off by Gary Portelli horse on Cox Plate Day. I had a bet on it that day as well.
The Jardin, yeah.
Yeah, Sir Jardin it looked well and truly home and just got beaten.
Seen the Valley before, speed will be on, so some chance. I think it was about $8 or something like that. So
yeah, and it seems to be well weighted here. 55.5. So yeah, it could go close. Omni Man, yeah, same weight. End of prep would be my biggest concern with him.
All right, perfect. Race 10, Benny, you wanted to have a look at as well. I've just got a text from one Jack Dickens with his tip for the week, which is in this race. But I'll let you look at the race first, and then we'll come in with him, mate.
Well, I know what he's going to back because everyone's going to be on this Pericles in the last start when it was at the Valley. And yes, it was the only horse to run on all day, but I think the way the race shaped, I know it was leader's track, but the way the race shaped, the horse had to hit the line, and obviously it was the horse. I think the horse will be over bet because of that, and for that reason, I'm happy to be with Helix for the Quentin McDonald camp. It's got some really strong form in its first preparation around a horse called Gringotts, who is quite smart from the Kieran Maher team. I watched this horse work at the Valley earlier on in the week, and I thought we're very sharp. I think the horse is talented, and I think it'll be hard to beat.
Well,
up in the last, so I'm happy to risk Pericles.
Pericles is the Periel.
Periel. Sorry.
Yeah, Pericles is a good middle distance sort of horse, but this one got beaten at $1.20, $1.30, $1.30 in Sydney that many times. I remember backing Ironman first up at Newcastle, which sort of put me on tilt for about 2 or 3 months when it couldn't quite run past the Zach thing. But because that was in the race, I'm like, oh well, Ironman is a bet here because he's taking up so much percentage, and he got beat again, and Ironman beat him, but couldn't quite get past the winner. So. He's not a bad looker, Periel, but I'm keen on Helix from what you say. It's 3 starts at 1 first up. It's got barrier 2. Periel is a bit of a gunner horse if you ask me.
That is,
you were
correct. You were correct. That was Jack Dickens' best bet. So we'll record that down for the tipping sheet there. Perfect. All right. Anything else you want to touch on at the Valley, Benny, or should we leave it there and move to New Zealand?
Good, mate. Take the reins.
Perfect. I've gone with 2 races today. I might decide what my best bet is once I've talked about them and see if I, lean one way or the other. Race 5 at Te Rapa. It's benchmark 65, 1,200 metre. There's a short favourite called Ka Ying Lucky. And as you'd guess by the name, it's an ex-Hong Kong horse. Never won in Hong Kong. Never raced once, I think, in Hong Kong, running near last with Zach Curtin on as a $2.60 favourite. So there's a fair bit of, spruik on it. And it trialled about, 10 times before coming back to New Zealand. So it won first up over 970 metres on the synthetic in New Zealand, and then has failed in its last two. Again, over 970 on the synthetic, goes to a turf track over 1200, which it probably is looking for the longer distance now. What I don't like about this horse is it's drawn barrier 1 on what is going to be a very testing track towards the end of the day. And it's a big horse that needs a bit of galloping room, I think. So drawn 1, it looks like it's a real sticky map. It's going to get stuck on the inside where I don't think you'll want to be. In saying that, does have Opie Boston aboard. So he can sort of generally undo that sort of thing. Win Express, the 2, was the one I wanted to sort of steer you towards. Some really good form as a 2-year-old, form around the likes of Mr. Mojo Rising, which you'll be familiar with, Benny. Really handles the heavy track. It's drawn wide. It's got Warren Kennedy on, who's one of our good jockeys, and it's third up after a decent break. So I think 1200 really suit. Heavy 10 suits, and it should get to the outside fence, which I think will be the place to be. And its second favourite, I just thought with the price of Car Young Lucky being $2, I think $2.20. Just thought with it being stuck on the inside, I thought just a bit spooky for that price.
Not just that, mate. You don't want to back a horse first up on a heavy 10 unless he's a proven swimmer.
He's not first up. He has had a couple of runs.
All right, sorry.
But yeah.
And did you say that he won on a synthetic as well?
Correct. Yeah, he's only had 3 runs on synthetic, so he's unknown on the heavy as well. So that was the other cross. Yeah. Yep. So I think Win Express was about $4.20. So it's just sort of siding that way. And then Riccarton race 8 was my other one. Now, these horses here, or the best chances, I think, come through the Winter Cup, which was 7 days ago, over a mile at the same track. They step up to 1800 here. The top weight, Bellardo Boy, he won the Winter Cup. He goes up to 62 kilos. And looking at 1800 for the first time, so he's never raced over the mile before. And I just thought the 62 kilos would probably see him out. The 3 Hit the Road Jack was good in the Winter Cup. It got stuck down on the inside where you didn't sort of want to be. Gets a 7 kilo swing on Bellardo Boy, which is obviously very significant for beaten by about 2 lengths. And yeah, was in the inferior part of the track. So I thought that big weight swing and likely to get to the outside, which I think will be the place to be at Riccarton as well. And you're getting about $6 for Hit the Road Jack. So race 8, number 3, Hit the Road Jack there at Riccarton. And let's go with Win Express as the best bet to Rapa race 5.
Beautiful.
I talked about it a bit longer, so I sort of, thought I'll go that way.
Yeah.
All right. Best bet, what did you, Benny?
We'll go Moonee Valley, race 5, number 1, Recommendation. Race 9, number 4, Omni-Man. And race 10, Helix. I think they're the 3 we can make some money out of.
And the one on top, just for us tracking how we're going on the best bets?
Helix, race 10.
Helix. Perfect. All right. Rob?
All right. I've got Cabalas and Watergoes, but if we're just doing this 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, why don't I start tipping something a bit shorter? Because can't be tipping $5-8 every week. So Cabalas in race 1, even luck wins.
All right. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Lovely. All right, boys. That'll probably do us, unless anyone's got anything to add.
All good.
Perfect. All right, boys. Good luck for the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Talk soon.
Thank you. Bye for now.
See you, boys.
Bye for now.